Karibuni sana wapenzi watazamaji na wasikilizaji ambao mmekuwa mkitufuatilia. Hii ni mahojiano maalum sana kwa sababu tupo hapa kwenye Capitol House. Tumekutana hapa kwa ajili ya mahojiano maalum na Mrs. Paulette Jordan. Tumekuwa na mambo mengi sana ambayo tumemuuliza huku tukiwasilisha refugee community ya hapa Idaho. Kwa kipindi hiki kwanza tunakuachia interview ambayo imeenda kwa lugha ya Kiingereza, lakini baadaye pia tutakuletea interview ambayo tutakuwa tumeitafsiri kila kitu ambacho kilizungumzwa katika lugha ya Kiswahili na ikiwezekana hata katika lugha zingine ambazo zitafuatia. Mbele ya mic ni Boss Elvis kama vile jinsi mnavyonijua, na hii hapa ni Red Pro Media. Karibuni sana.
So my name is Daniel Betty, and I'm here with Senator to be Jordan Paulette. She's running for Idaho Senator, and she's here to kind of give a message to the refugee community who are eligible to vote and why we should vote for her. So it's nice seeing you, Miss Paulette Jordan.
Thank you, Danny. And I want to thank Elvis as well, who's behind the camera. You know, we have two rock stars here that are representing the refugee community, and I'm very proud of them because they have always maintained the message that we deserve representation and we want to know who we can trust. And I've said to him, because I was raised indigenous on this land, that everyone's welcome and everyone has the right to be protected. And because of that fact, we realize that we are all elders, we're all related, we're all connected in so many ways, that because of that spiritual connection, that will keep us bonded for eternity. So I'm grateful to be amongst all of you in the refugee community. They've mentioned to me some of the few issues that have arisen lately, from housing to access to voting. And so I've made sure that it's been a priority. We've expanded our team to ensure that everyone understands that these are the ways to get registered and what it looks like to vote, because we want to educate everyone in our refugee community to participate. It's imperative that every single one of you takes your right and responsibility to the polls to be a part of this election, because you too deserve representation. Your voice must be heard, and by demanding that right and demanding your representative to vote or hear you out, that you do that by your vote. So I would say to you to make sure that you look at who the representatives are today, and if they're disserving you and they're not listening to you and they're working against you, vote against them. Make sure to vote them out. The guy that I'm up against, there's a reason why I'm opting myself ahead of him to be voted out. So he, to me, no longer serves Idaho. The fact that he is not willing to listen to our people, does not understand the concerns and needs of our people, says a lot. And I think actions speak louder than words. Because actions speak louder than words to me, and I'm someone who believes in holding your word, that's very important to me, because at the end of the day, like many of you who are very close to your elders, our word is all we have. Our word is what we stand upon for good character and trust. And that trust element is extremely important to me. It's very sacred. And because I want to bring this trust element to the halls of Congress, where it's very rarely ever seen. This is a new element that I believe our people deserve in politics or in government today, because people deserve their government working for them rather than against them. So I'm here to meet with everybody. You know, I'm not going to be any kind of, I want to make sure that I'm building a stronger connection to everyone from the refugee community, to our relatives here, Elvis and Danny, and then grow that spectrum, because I want to make sure I understand your voices, your concerns, and then bring those stories to the United States Senate. And for me, because this is my homeland, I'm not going anywhere. You know, I have nowhere to hide, and I'm not a wealthy billionaire or millionaire hiding behind my money or behind corporations. You know, I'm here fighting for the people first. And I think that's really, truly what's most important, serving our working families and serving our refugee community.
Oh, thank you for the amazing message. So for refugee community out there, do you have any past or present or relationship with the African community, not only African community but refugee community at large? And also, what do you think about the refugee program in Idaho?
Well, the refugee program here in Idaho, I think, like anything else, you know, it always it deserves attention and support. Must be well funded, especially when you're looking to transitioning from your homelands after a crisis. And many people who come here, you know, they're forced out of their comfort zone and away from their families and their land that they're familiar to. And to me, it's a scary reality that you've all had to face. But we have to be compassionate in our leadership. And that level of radical empathy that we don't see in today's politics is rare. But that's why I'm running. You know, I'm running because I was raised to be compassionate and to understand that we have to put ourselves and what we say in another person's moccasins and walk in their shoes. So I want to be able to walk in your shoes and understand what it is that you are going through, because I was born in a slightly more privileged position, because we even though we have to deal with our own crisis here as Indigenous peoples and the heritage that I stem from our land being taken away and having to deal with the government infringing upon our independence and our freedoms. It's not the same with folks like yourselves who are dealing with it more recently. So I want to make sure that your programs are funded, that you have access to housing, healthcare, and education. You should be taken care of in a country that is here to serve everybody. And because we have that privilege in this country to serve you as you're coming in, I want to make sure that we're fully addressing all these issues and that we're not getting caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that often most people get caught up in.
Oh, thank you for the message. So my other question is, we have a lot of refugees out there who are eligible to vote, and some of them don't really know how the voting process goes, or they think their voice, even though they vote, they won't be heard. So do you have any plan to make sure all these votes, they're reached out and they can vote? Mm-hmm. Do you have any plan on that?
Yes. So we are looking to build in great people like Danny into the campaign. And we, like I said, we have expanded our field team. We just want to make sure that we can walk your talk and understand the language and speak the language of all people, because we all respond differently, whether it's through music or through dance. And our people get revved up when we have powwows, and our people get revved up when we have quinceañeras, and we have all kinds of different functions that are relative to us. And any way we can find a connection through the refugee community, many stemming from the African population, we just want to stay as relevant and open as possible to understand you, because that to me is everything. When someone comes to my tribal community, I want to make sure that they understand what we're about, but they take the time to listen to us and even join in our culture and our traditions. Whether that's a family event or whatever, but it just means a lot when you have someone who's willing to take that time first and foremost to let them know that their voice matters, and that's where it starts. When people know that their voice matters, they will learn that their vote matters, because their vote is their voice, and there's a reason why they're trying to take that from us. They want to make sure that we don't go out and vote, but you got to ask yourselves, why is it that my vote is so powerful? Why would they try to take the most powerful thing away from me? So if you can enact your vote, you will see how powerful your vote is. And in fact, if this election is won by a matter of 10 to 100 or even 1,000 votes, even if it's that 10 vote difference, that is your vote that would make that extreme difference. It will change the entire outcome of this whole United States election on November 3rd. So I would implore that you take the time to understand, whether you visit our website, pauletteforsenate.com, or you talk to Elvis or Danny here. There are many people who we want to work with to help you overcome those challenges, be it a language barrier or if it's a technological barrier. So we're open to understanding what these issues are, and we're going to make sure that we're with you every step of the way.
All right, thank you for the message. Thank you so much, Senator Jordan Paulette. It's been a pleasure, and it's always amazing, because you out of your busy time in campaigns, you've always provided time for us and listened to our cause. We thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Danny, and I want to thank you, Elvis, so very much. You're both beautiful, and we can't wait to continue working with you along this campaign to turn Idaho back to a sensible place that is fair and just for all.
Asanteni sana kwa wote ambao mmeendelea kufuatilia interview hizi. Tutaendelea kuwapatia interview tena na tena, lakini lengo ni kuwasihi tafadhali kwamba Paulette amekuja kwa ajili ya kutaka kufanya maendeleo makubwa sana na mabadiliko mengi sana ambayo anaahidi kuyafanya, kama vile jinsi mlivyoweza kumsikia. Kinachoombwa sasa hizi, tafadhali tumpatie kura, kwa sababu kuna vitu vingi sana ambavyo vitabadilisha katika jamii yetu ya refugee community. Kuna vitu vingi sana ambavyo vimekuwa vikiendelea ambavyo vinatuumiza, lakini akiwepo pale tukiwa na mwakilishi ambaye ana uwezo wa kufikiria na kujali African au refugee community, na imani kwamba itakuwa ni msaada mkubwa sana, na yupo tu kwa ajili ya wakimbizi au wa Afrika, badala yake yupo kwa ajili ya kila mtu. Kwa saizi nisiongee mengi, lakini nawaombeni tafadhali tumpatie kura. Asante sana.